Hi there. Welcome to this very short workshop on how the credit restoration process works. First, let me start by saying that my team and I are professionals totally dedicated to helping you gain the financial freedom you deserve by helping you repair your credit and helping you escape the credit prison. Your creditors and credit bureaus are working hard to make sure you can't get back on your feet. We are here to say, look, we all go through hard times. You don't deserve to suffer 7 to 10 years just because of past mistakes. Damaged credit can be very tough on your pride. Increased self-esteem is just one of the benefits you will receive with a significantly bolstered credit score. Over the next several minutes, I'm going to share with you exactly how the credit repair process works and how myself and my team can help you get to your goals. So stick around. Now, when we talk about credit scores, I think most of us realize that the banks and lenders look hard at them to determine whether they're going to approve us for a loan or not. But many people don't realize that there are a lot more people looking at our credit as well. Did you know that landlords screen your credit when you're going to rent a home? Did you know your employers frequently look at your credit scores when you're applying for a job? Credit card companies, car finance companies, the list goes on, guys. And guess what? Thieves want it too. What do you mean by that, you may ask? How about that identity theft issue? Did you know that according to the Federal Trade Commission, the fastest growing crime in the United States right now is identity theft? So everyone, it seems, is concerned about your credit. Why are you not? In fact, I recently overheard someone say, before long, they'll actually pull your credit report before issue your library card. It's getting that big. So your timing is great for starting on the road to good credit. So how does the process begin? If we haven't already done so, we will meet to discuss your goals, timing, and what you're trying to accomplish. Next, we need to obtain a copy of your credit report. And although there are a number of places on the internet where you can obtain a copy of your credit report, I suggest you contact me and I will send you to the only website where you can get a true copy of your credit report for just $1. This is the only site that will not trick you into buying something you do not need nor scam you. One of the things you'll quickly learn when you go through our educational series is that it is a huge myth that a credit report is a credit report is a credit report. There's actually a variety of sources, and some of those sources will trick you into buying something or having you give your information out, which in turn they will sell to anybody that wants to buy it. So I encourage you to call right now and obtain a dollar credit report. Once we have it, we will forward your information over to our credit restoration department. Once they get it, they will get right to work and send a dispute out on your behalf right away. Here we have a picture of a few glitzy bureau buildings, which are paid for incidentally by selling your private information along with mine to the highest bidder. They do this behind our backs and oftentimes without our permission. But I digress. So back to the process. When the credit bureaus receive your disputes at their facility, a number of things are required to happen immediately under the law. First, they're required to conduct what law refers to as due diligence. In other words, they have to do some fact checking and they have to make sure that the information that's placed on your credit report is accurate before they ding your credit. Now, we know from having to place them on deposition stands where they swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, that they do none of the sort. Most of the times, they actually accept the information that comes from the creditors or credit card companies, which are their subscribers, as gospel when it's handed off to them. However, they're required under law to perform some due diligence. This requirement is what will load your first barrel of your Road to Freedom shotgun. Second, they're going to have to contact each one of your creditors that is being challenged so they can validate or substantiate the information on your credit report. And they have to conclude this investigation within the next 30 days. Now, you will receive all correspondences from the credit bureaus in your mailbox. As soon as it arrives, I ask that you rip open the envelope and look it over. I'm sure you're going to be eager to see those results. After you've looked it over, you will need to email it to us along with all other information that you receive from the credit bureaus. This is so important that it is worth saying again. Anything and everything that you receive from TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax needs to get sent to us immediately so that we can continue to pressure the credit bureaus on your behalf. I would suggest that you keep a copy for yourself, particularly for dramatic before and afters, but send us the originals within, I would say, 2 to 3 days. Once 750 Score receives your updated credit reports, we will join you in celebrating the deletions and early results that you're seeing. From here, we ratchet up the intensity of the challenges. In fact, these are only initial results, and anything that's left on your credit report that's still tarnishing your character or suppressing your credit scores is going to be addressed in a manner very similar to how you may think an appeal is in court for legal matters. If requested, the law requires that the credit bureaus conduct a reinvestigation. They have to re-examine their internal policies. They're going to have to recontact each and every creditor who has maintained this information on your credit report to verify the information and satisfy the ever-intensifying, ever-increasing demands of your credit restoration company, which is 750 Score. From here, you will receive a second update. Once you receive your second update, it will need to be sent over to member services immediately. Now, after 2 cycles, sometimes it varies, but typically what we see is after 2 cycles, 750 Score will choose to circumvent or go around the actual credit bureaus themselves and call the creditors directly, the person who actually put this information on your credit report. And when your case manager calls these creditors, he's going to force them to put up or shut up. That is, put up a defense or shut up. Permanently delete this information from your credit report. You're going to find that creditors don't have the bank of employees that the credit bureaus have to defend these allegations that they placed on your credit report. Additionally, the creditors have substantially more liability as it relates to 750 Score leaning in on them about the information on your credit. And lastly, you're going to find that the creditors, although they are maybe very cavalier about the information they provide on your credit when it's free, when the meter is going, when they start to have to put up a defense, when they start to have to spend money, time, and energy and efforts to defend these allegations on your credit report, I think you may be surprised to see just how quickly they back off and they get this information permanently deleted from your credit report. 750 Score will continue to pursue these creditors as well as the credit bureaus until you're completely satisfied with your results. So to recap, 750 Score may lean in on your creditors and say, this is paraphrase of course, on 2 separate occasions, I've challenged this information with TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, and on both occasions the information has come back substantiated or validated. They will then say something like this: you no longer have the buffer of the credit bureaus between you and I. Produce for me the information that you've used to substantiate this debt. Understand that if the information provided doesn't meet the full letter of the law, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and the Federal Trade Commission's interpretation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, then I've been authorized by my client to use all legal remedies, including the initiation of a lawsuit, to have this information removed from your credit report. So it's powerful. And again, I may be paraphrasing, taking some liberties with the attorney language here just a bit, but maybe it will close with something like this. Or, I bet you can finish this, right? You can remove this information from the credit report, and we'll hold hands singing Kumbaya. Now, what do you think these creditors will do? We generally will continue to see somewhere around 30% of the negative items on your credit report deleted every time 750 Score puts forth a challenge on your behalf. 750 Score is absolutely a master at being able to force the credit bureaus and creditors to spend more money, time, and energy, along with effort, than they could ever justify in keeping a trade line item on your credit report. So in essence, what we're going to do is turn the tables on these creditors. 750 Score is going to have the credit bureaus, their subscribers, and creditors that have placed this information on your credit report jumping through hoops. You see, from a legal perspective, our attorneys tell us that the information on your credit report is nothing more, nothing less than a whole series of allegations that are being made about you. Unproven, unsubstantiated allegations. That's right. It's kind of like this. What if someone was seen running out of a bank today with a big sack of money, and they looked a little bit like you? And what if they jumped in a getaway car that looked a little bit like yours, and the cops called you in? You don't have to prove your innocence, do you? No, you don't have to say a thing. They have to prove your guilt. Although the credit repair is a civil matter, it works the same way. The burden of proof lies with your accusers, which is the credit bureaus or the creditors that have placed this information on your credit report. 750 Score is absolutely a master at being able to force the credit bureaus and creditors to spend more money, time, energy, and efforts than they ever could justify in keeping trade lines on your credit report. So in essence, What we're going to do is turn the tables on these creditors. 750 Score is going to have the credit bureaus, their subscribers, and creditors that have placed this information on your credit report jumping through hoops. You see, from a legal perspective, our attorneys tell us that the information on your credit report is nothing more, nothing less than a whole series of allegations that are being made about you. Unproven, unsubstantiated allegations. That's right. It's kind of like this. What if someone was seen running out of a bank today with a big sack of money, and they looked a little bit like you? And what if they jumped in a getaway car that looked a little bit like yours, and the cops called you in? You don't have to prove your innocence, do you? No, you don't have to say a thing. They have to prove your guilt. Although the credit repair is a civil matter, it works the same way. The burden of proof lies with your accusers, which is the credit bureaus or the creditors that have placed this information on your credit report. 750 Score is absolutely a master at being able to force the credit bureaus and creditors to spend more money, time, and energy, along with effort, than they could ever justify in keeping a trade line item on your credit report. If they're not willing to go to the mat, as they say, then they're going to be forced under the law to remove this information permanently from your credit report. Let me give you a snapshot at our member services department. You may find this very interesting. Typically, we receive about 300 credit reports daily in the mail from various members that are in various stages of the process. And on any given day, we are going to see items like bankruptcies, federal and state tax liens, judgments, foreclosures and repossessions, court-ordered child support, government-backed student loans, you know, the heavy stuff deleted from members' credit reports. And then boatloads of more common things. Sometimes we refer to them as low-hanging fruit at the member services department. The things like collection agency items and slow pays, charge-offs, and excessive inquiries. But here's the point that I want you to take away. There's no kind of item, period. Don't miss this. There is no kind of item, period, on a credit report that we don't routinely see coming off of our members' credit reports as direct results and efforts of our case managers. So there's light at the end of the tunnel for you. And it's not an oncoming train. Here are a few testimonials and results that we've got from previous clients. Let me read a few. By the way, this can all be seen on our website at www.750score.com/testimonials, or you can go directly to Facebook at facebook.com/750score and click reviews to see them yourself. Stephen says, this is hands down the best service for credit repair. Shamir says, I started with a sub 500 credit score and a lot of damaging items on my credit report. Within the last 3 months, I've jumped over 250 points and the negative items have been falling off my credit weekly. Brandon promised specific results and he's definitely delivered and is still working on my file now. Saquon says, really has made my credit score jump drastically, all while having reasonable pricing. Kevin says, just want to thank 750 Score on helping me on the road to 750 credit. Tish says, I'm speechless right now with the improvements and progress of my credit. Great company, very professional, and keeps you informed throughout the process. Definitely referring. So again, these are just some examples of the work we've done. Feel free to look at our website at www.750score.com/testimonials or www.750score.com/results to see more. Now let me set some realistic expectations. What we found is the process does require a bit of an exercise in patience. Understand, this service is not a snap your fingers, quick fix, or overnight kind of process, but rather the average member with us completes the process in about 3 to 6 months. You're going to have to exercise some patience, but you're not going to be pacing the floors, twiddling your fingers, wondering, what's happening with my credit? What's happening with my case? Because as I mentioned before, 750 Score is going to regularly demand, and the law then will require that the credit bureau send you updated copies of your credit report every 30 to 45 days. And so you'll receive these updates regularly throughout the process. In fact, one of the members said to us not too long ago, man, by the time the process was over, I literally could have wallpapered my living room with the credit reports. But every time I got an update, it was leaner than the previous one. Additionally, our member services department will assign you a specific case manager who's in charge of your file. So you're not going to be bouncing around from person to person talking about some of the most intimate financial information over and over again. You'll have a specific senior case manager who is assigned to your case, highly experienced, who will hold your hand throughout the process. These case managers, incidentally, are able to pull up your account and give you up-to-the-minute, real-time updates. So you'll constantly be kept in the loop as to how you're progressing. Can you see that? Obviously, the credit bureaus hate us. They see us as public enemy number one. There's a lot of press that they put out there to dissuade you from the representation that is available to you and that you deserve. And collection agencies, well, they despise us too. But our members love us. Why? Because they love the idea, as you will, of having a credit expert who eats, drinks, and sleeps credit bureau law. Someone who gets up in the morning and stays up late looking for ways to make the credit bureaus miserable and keep a smile on your face. Let's discuss pricing. Initially, what you will pay is $1 for your credit report and $39 for your credit analysis. The credit analysis allowed us to pull your credit to see exactly what's going on there, to see what we need to do, and also give you tips on things that you can do to better your credit. Now, our two most popular programs are our Fresh Start and a Fresh Start Plus, so that's what we're going to discuss now. A Fresh Start enrollment fee is $199 and it's $59.95 monthly. With that, you get 24/7 access to the online portal where you can keep track of all notes. Anytime that you call in or we call the credit bureaus or your creditors, we notate the system. That way we can keep track of everything that's going on. You can also add a spouse for $99. You get unlimited disputes as long as you're an active member. You can add public records if you have them on your credit report for $100. It includes the following type of items. It's limited to 10 collection accounts and 5 charge-offs. So anything over that, you'll be looking at the Fresh Start Plus program. It also includes inquiry removal and personal information. Now, the Fresh Start Plus program enrollment fee is $399 and it's $59.95 monthly. A little stronger techniques than the Fresh Start. You also get the same things, the 24/7 access. This one, the spouse is added on for $199. Unlimited bureau disputes, unlimited creditor disputes, as long as you're an active member. This program is good for people with public records. If you have bankruptcy, foreclosures, tax liens, judgment, evictions, repos, etc., this is the program for you. It also includes the standard items in the previous package, inquiries, and personal information. After hearing all of this, I think you'll agree with me that your investment is minimum when stacked up against the advantages of improved life and all the benefits associated with a dramatically improved credit score. Here's one of my favorite thank yous that came from Harold, who is one of our members in Nashville, Tennessee. Harold says, "Thank you for your generous spirit. The world would be better served if there were more people like you. I see the light at the end of the tunnel." And I might add, I don't think he's talking about an oncoming train. So are you ready to take your life back? You come to the right place. Take the first step. Visit www.750score.com/ready to pull a copy of your credit report and order your credit analysis. If you're already on the site, just click below.